In the far north of the state of Victoria, the Victorian Railways stretched out through Bendigo and Swan Hill to reach a place called Yungera. The railway is still open as far as the township of Piangil, which is now the end of the line. Piangil serves the grain industry with silos and loading facilities for grain trains. The township has a population of around 260 people and is roughly 45 kilometres north of Swan Hill. The passenger train service from Melbourne runs as far as Swan Hill with 2 daily return services. The last passenger train from Swan Hill to Piangil ceased operation in 1976. Piangil, now the end of the line, still shows signs of the line that once continued north. Let's take a ride along the route the line travelled. Coonimur, the first station after Piangil, was opened for general traffic along with the opening of the line as far as Koolonong in March 1920 and worked under caretaker conditions. The points at either end of the station were secured with staff locks. Not long after, in July 1920, the station reverted to no one in charge conditions. 4 years later, in December 1924, a caretaker was again put in charge of the station. However, this only lasted until July 1927, when once again the station reverted to no one in charge conditions. This remained the status until the station was closed to all traffic in November 1953. By January 1954, all points and staff locks had been removed. Sand dunes were a problem along this section, with corrugated iron fences erected to attempt to stop the track from being buried in the sand. Natya, formerly named Taloma but renamed during construction, was opened for traffic in March 1920. The points at each end were secured with staff locks, with the station being worked under no one in charge conditions until a caretaker was provided in April 1924. In June 1969, the staff locks were replaced with hand locking bars and padlocks. Natya was reduced to no one in charge status from March 1979. The station was closed to all traffic in 1987. Natya today still has its silos, some rail and part of the platform in place, and is used as a truck depot. Koolonong was reached in 1920 with the line opening in March of that year. Koolonong at this stage was the end of the line and was provided with a station master, a down home signal and plunger lock points at the up end. Only 4 months later, in July of 1920, the station master was removed and the station worked under caretaker status. 2 years later, being July of 1922, the station master position was reinstated, lasting until July of 1927, when the station went back to caretaker status, most likely due to the line being extended through to Yungera in March of 1926. Once the line was extended, the home signal was abolished and the points were then secured by staff lock at each end of the station. August 1957 saw the station again become the end of the line with the closure of the line to Yungera. From March 1974, the station was worked under no one in charge conditions, with the station closing to all traffic with the closure of the line past Piangil in January of 1987. These days, the silos stand as a silent reminder of what was once an active railhead with a story or two to tell. The former route of the railway from Koolonong to Yungera, as well as parts of the route back to Piangil, are now preserved as the Piangil-Yungera Railway Bushland Reserve. Koorkab was opened for traffic with the line opening through to Yungera in March of 1926. Right from the start, Koorkab was worked under no one in charge conditions, with the points at each end secured with staff locks. The station closed with the line closure back to Koolonong in August of 1957. Today there is very little to suggest there was even a railway station at this location, with not much more than a mound of dirt where the platform was located. Yungera was opened for traffic in March 1926. The station had a down-home signal and plunger lock points at the up end. For the whole time it was open, it was worked under no one in charge conditions. The station closed with the closure of the line back to Koolonong in August 1957. There is not much to suggest this location was a railway station at the end of a line. Sleeper marks in the ground give away the significance of the site. A mound of dirt marks the spot where a platform was located. The buffers were the only thing left standing as late as 2007. Let's see if they're still there. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel here.